Hello, I'm Christopher and welcome back to another Dino Nerd video. Today we're going to be debunking Behemoth and the idea that Behemoth is a sauropod long-necked dinosaur. I know it sounds crazy. We all know that sauropods lived during the Jurassic and Cretaceous period, so why do people think that it was a sauropod? Well, let's cover Behemoth in today's Dino Nerd video. If you are new, please subscribe, hit that bell, like, and let's jump into this. Now, we are reading the New International King James Version. And let's see. Alrighty, so look at Behemoth, which I made along with you. It which feeds on grass like an ox. Job 10:15 through 24. With strength it has in its loins. What power in its muscles of its belly. Its tail sways like a cedar. The sinews of its thighs are close knit, and bronze are tubes of bronze. Its limbs like rods of iron. Verse 19. It ranks first among the works of God, yet its maker approaches it with his sword. The hills bring it their produce, and all the wild animals play nearby. Under the lotus plants it lies, hidden among the reeds in the marsh. The lotus conceal it in their shadow. The poplars by the stream surround it. A raging river does not alarm it. It is secure through the Jordan should surge against its mouth. Can anyone capture its eyes or trap and pierce its nose?
How do you sleep at night?
On a mattress from Mattress Firm. So I sleep.
It's the best sale of the year. Get a Sealy King bed for a queen price. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night.
Sorry, that was an ad. I really do not like ads. I was like, where was that coming from? Okay. I'm just making sure that that's all of the verse. Okay. So I guess that's the end of the reading. We can conclude from this verse that this piece of scripture is extremely vague and doesn't give a whole lot of detail and information about what is behind Behemoth. For once, from what I've read, it doesn't really sound a whole lot like a sauropod. We know that sauropods didn't eat the tree that it was mentioned in the verse. They ate ginkgos and cycads. Plus, we haven't really found, I don't think, any sauropod remains in Jordan, any fossil remains of sauropods. Let me check real quick, Google real quick, to see if we found any sauropods in Jordan, because that would debunk this right here now. Sauropods found in Jordan. Yes, sauropods have been found in Jordan. Oh. Apparently they have been found in Jordan. But that doesn't make it a sauropod dinosaur, because okay. If I was the author of Job and I would be writing down Job, I would definitely give a better detailed version of what Job, the passage in Job. So in the passage of Job, we see the muscles in its belly, its tail sways like a cedar, its bones tubes are of bronze, like bronze, and only God can kill it. Well, God can kill anything if he wants. He drowned the whole entire earth. He pretty much has the power to do anything. And lotus plants, I don't know. I don't think sauropods ate lotus. Did sauropods eat lotus plants? I'm just looking up a bunch of things today. I think that's a no. I think Google is telling me no. I don't think it ate lotus plants. So that's a no. Can anyone capture it by its eyes or capture it and pierce its nose? Well, most sauropods are very small, so a sauropod dinosaur with enough men around it can capture a smaller sauropod. However, a larger sauropod, for example, Brachiosaur or Titanosaur, would probably require more men to capture it, and probably with modern technology, tranquilize it and put it to sleep. But using ancient technology, probably not. Unless you had a whole lot of strong rope, but I don't know if a whole lot of strong rope can bring down one of these. And again, this passage is still very vague, and it doesn't really do a good job of describing the animal, in my personal opinion. So if I were to write the book of Job, if I was the author of Job, and if I wanted, I would give better detail. And if it were a sauropod, I would put it like this. Look at the behemoth, which I made along with you, and which feeds on grass like an ox. Now, just for a second, we know that sauropod dinosaurs didn't eat grass because there was no grass around during the Jurassic or Cretaceous periods. Grass came later in the Cenozoic period and came about that way. Also, like an ox. Okay, that's good. All right, now that I got the grass part out of the way, let me start over. Look at the behemoth, which I made along with you, and which feeds on grass like an ox. Now, I know I keep interrupting myself, but once again, a a sauropod putting its neck down to graze on grass would make it highly vulnerable to predators attacking it. Now, imagine a world where mammals and dinosaurs coexist together. Do you think in this biblical scenario how a lion would take full advantage of a sauropod in this sort of biblical scenario where dinosaurs and mammals live alongside each other? Do you think a lion or any predator would take advantage of a sauropod with its neck down to the ground eating grass? Heck yeah. So again, I don't think this is I highly do not think at all, I do not believe at all that this is a sauropod dinosaur. But enough interrupting myself. Let me go back to putting it like if I were to write this verse. Look at Behemoth, which I made along with you, and which feeds on grass like an ox, which strength it has in its loins, what power in its muscles of its belly, and it sways like a cedar. The sinews of its thighs are close knit. Its bones are tubes of bronze, its limbs like rods of iron. And if this verse was describing a sauropod, I would put it like this. And its neck was like a long straight, and its neck was like a long rod of iron, something like that. It ranks first among the works of God, yet its maker can approach it with his sword. His hills bring their produce, and the wild animals play nearby. Under the cycads and ginkgos it lies, hidden among the reeds in the marsh. The cycads and ginkgos conceal it in their shadow. The poplars by the stream surround it. A raging river does not alarm it. It's secure through the Jordan should surge against its mouth. Can anyone capture it by its eyes, or trap it and pierce its nose, or bring it down? Something like that. That's how I would write Behemoth if it were a sauropod. Now, putting it like that, this verse makes it now does not at all sound like a sauropod. In fact, there were a lot of large animals that are no longer alive, including the Paraceratherium, which was a large mammal that lived during the Cenozoic. It was a really massive mammal, and it would have probably been bigger than a giraffe. It was huge. Now, I think a Paraceratherium could be a behemoth, and no to any Godzilla fans, this is not the behemoth creature from the Godzilla movies. Lol. I don't know what Behemoth is describing, but I do know that it's not a sauropod because I put it like a sauropod when I was reading this, and once I added the neck feature, it made it sound like a sauropod, but Behemoth is not a sauropod. And Job 40 verse 15 through 24 is not describing a sauropod at all, because sauropods, of course, ate cycads, ferns, ginkgos, those sorts of trees. And again, and if it was describing a sauropod, I wish the author of Job would have given more information, more detail about the book of Job, but yeah, no worries. Behemoth is not a sauropod. I've stated out because of many reasons. Number one, the reason why Behemoth is not a sauropod, because grass did not live at the same time as sauropods. No sauropod ever ate grass. That would put it in an extremely vulnerable position eating grass. Number two, they ate ginkgos, cycads, all those good yummy trees. They also ate palms because there was a lot of palm leaves. And another thing about sauropods too is that sauropods, yes, the verse makes it sound like their bones are really big and strong, but there are other extinct animals that the book of Job could be describing, including a Paraceratherium, which was the largest mammal because humans and dinosaurs never coexisted with one another. And this verse is probably describing a Paraceratherium because it's a mammal. And mammals like that were around in the Cenozoic. So it's probably Paraceratherium or some other sort of creature like that. And other than that, can anyone capture it with eyes or trap it and pierce it by its nose? Well, you can, in fact, with today's technology, capture a sauropod if there are any sauropods alive in the Congo, for all you young Earth creationists that believe that. No, there are no sauropods alive in the Congo. We're just covering all the bases today. And a lot of sauropods did get a lot bigger than a behemoth. There were a lot of sauropods that lived in South America, that have been found in South America, that got even way bigger. So yeah. So I think I've covered everything about Behemoth and how it's not a sauropod. It could be any extinct mammal, but it's not. It's not a sauropod. It's probably a Paraceratherium or some other extinct animal. We'll find out, mammal out there. Okay, I think I've covered all of it. Be sure to subscribe with Dinosaurs with Christopher to be up to date. Hit that notification bell. And follow my socials to keep up to date with all content. I hope you enjoyed this Dino Nerd. I've covered everything that I have to say about Behemoth, and Behemoth's not a sauropod. Until next time, Dino Nerd here.